Inspired by the FBI hostage rescue team's chosen handgun, the Springfield Professional 1911, the Tactical Response Pistol, or TRP, was born. This TRP is a CC version, or carry contour version, commander size 1911 45 ACP model. So they sent it to me about 2 weeks ago. I've had some time with it. I put a few hundred rounds through it just to get the feel for it. Now, yeah, it's a 1911, but there's a lot of features that I didn't actually expect that really set this apart from other 1911s. All right, guys, question for you. What's the name of the inventor of the 1911? It's a pretty easy question. Most of you guys should get this. Leave your answer in the comment section below. If you get it right, I will leave you a heart. Let's get on with the video.
Yeah. What do you think?
Different than shooting a Glock.
Yeah, a little bit.
So this right here is the carry contour model. So basically it's a concealed carry version. The difference is a lot shorter than the other models. This has a 4.25 inch barrel. And right on the bottom right here, you can kind of see how this contour cut right here on the bottom of the grip, that's to prevent printing and snagging. So this is actually their concealed carry version of the TRP, the Tactical Response Pistol. Now, one really cool thing about this kit is it actually comes with this Pelican case. It's perfectly carved out for the TRP. And the magazine is inside the TRP, and it comes with 2 extra magazines. Now these are 7-round, single stack 45 magazines. Whether or not you like 45, that's a very common round count, especially for more of a compact 1911. Now you can buy aftermarket mags. I've seen 8-round mags and then 10-round mags, kind of like the Chip McCormick's and stuff. Basically you have that mag just kind of sticks out the bottom. Kind of defeats the purpose of a concealed carry firearm. Okay, so these are the VZ Hydra grips, and they're cut very deep, very aggressive serrations. This thing sticks to your skin. You also have 20 LPI serrations on the back strap and on the front strap. They're very deep serrations, extremely grippy gun, almost grippy to a fault. So that said, it's fine. I actually enjoy it. It's been cold out here, that's why I'm wearing gloves right now. It's about 15 degrees outside. We had a -1 degree morning, so that was cool. But the sun's out, it's warmed up, so we're good. So one thing that really sets us apart from a lot of 1911s is how it's made. Now, instead of being a cast frame, this thing is actually a forged frame. So they're through the forging process, they smash this thing into the shape it is. It actually condenses the metals a lot more than just casting it, so it gives you a stronger material to work with. Now, what's also cool is that these are hand fit. All the parts, the slide, and the frame are actually matched together through the manufacturing process, and then they're machined together so you have a matching slide and frame. There's a lot of detail put into these TRP models, so not only do you have the forged frame, you also have a matched frame and slide. You have a skeletonized hammer, skeletonized trigger. You have an ambidextrous safety on the back, so it works your left or right hand. So really the only ambidextrous part about this is going to be your safety in the rear. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through the specs of this gun. I'm going to make this its own chapter and identifiable as a chapter. So here we go. The color, this right here is our Coyote Brown. I will tell you it has more of like almost an olive drab type hue to it. So it's not just like a FDE or a standard Coyote Brown. There's a slight greenish hue to it. It's cool. It's a really cool color, especially on a 1911 with these VZ grips. Really good combo. So the barrel is a 4.25 inch forged stainless steel barrel. It's a match grade and then has a fully supported ramp, 1 in 16 twist. And I will tell you the polishing on that barrel is awesome. Like it's very smooth polish job on that ramp. So in the few hundred rounds that I've put through it so far, not a single issue. I have done some hollow points, but mostly FMJs. So far, no issues at all. So the slide is actually made of a forged carbon steel. And then obviously with that Coyote Brown Cerakote on it. Now the frame is a forged aluminum alloy frame, and it has the carry contour right here on the bottom, as we mentioned and pointed out before. Again, with that Coyote Brown Cerakote. The sights, you have your tactical rack 3-dot tritium sights, and then the recoil system is a commander length GI style recoil system, meaning it doesn't have that full length guide rod. You actually have the little stubby guide rod with that spring in there. So when you take your gun apart, one thing I'd recommend is, obviously when you break it down, you pull your pin out. When you start to slide it forward, put your hand over the bottom of that slide and pull it out. It'll keep that spring retained, because that spring could fold and go somewhere where you can't find it. These are the Hydra G10 grips by VZ. And then the magazines, obviously, like I said, they come with 3 7-round single stack 45 magazines. This weighs 27.3 ounces and is 7.9 inches long, and then it's 5.5 inches tall. So there you go. Basic specs for you. Obviously, 1911s are cool because they have a unique trigger system. I say it's unique only because it's really only apparent on 1911 style guns. If you think about most guns on the market, at least everything that I can think of, you have a trigger that's actually on a pivot. So every trigger out there, when you're squeezing that trigger is actually pivoting. Whereas in 1911, that trigger pull is a straight back trigger pull. And not to mention 1911s are single action, meaning that the trigger's only job is to release the hammer. One action, right? So double action basically means when you squeeze that trigger, it's going to take your hammer, it's going to cock your hammer, and then release the hammer. Single action means that hammer has to be cocked in order for the trigger to drop the hammer. So with a 1911, if you're going to carry one as a CCW, I would recommend you have to chamber it. You have to put a round in that chamber, and then you put that safety up, leave that hammer cocked back. That's the best way to carry a 1911. Like I said, there's going to be no option to drop the hammer on a 1911 without releasing it with your thumb. So some could find that as a safety issue. Honestly, I don't think it's a safety issue. It's just a self-control issue. Keep your finger off the trigger if you're not using the gun, and then use a quality holster that doesn't have worn leather around the trigger area. You should be just fine. So what's really cool about this is it actually comes with this Pelican 1170 case. It says TRP right on the back, and it comes with, like I said, the cutouts are just absolutely perfect. One problem is there's like a double sticky back sticker back here, and it doesn't like to hold this in place, so that always flops out. So I'm probably gonna glue it in place, use a little bit of hot glue and just tack it in. So let's talk pricing. So this gun right here, this MSRP is for basically 2,000 bucks, 1999. It's not just a cheap stamped out 1911. Like I said, you have hand fitting, you have forged frame, forged alloy frame, forged steel slide, stainless steel barrel. So premium parts. You have a really good strong Cerakote. Now I will tell you, I dropped this 1911 off of my Target stand when I was taking pictures of it. So it did take a little ding. But that Cerakote actually held up pretty well. So that's all the specs of the gun. That's all the features. We talked about price. I think that price point, you're gonna find it for less than 2,000 bucks online or at a gun store. When I'm filming this right now, it's not available in stores yet. It's gonna be available as soon as this video goes live. So if you're watching it, if you need one, go get one. But I don't know how much they're gonna sell for online. I imagine probably around the $1,700 range would be my guess. So let's talk performance. How well did this thing perform? And honestly, it performs as good as I can ask it to perform. It's more accurate than I am capable. There's a very solid feel to the gun. When you're wiggling that gun around, you don't hear a bunch of things clunking around together. Very tight tolerances. Accuracy, like I said, it works great. Now this is not an optics ready model. Most 1911s are not optics ready. I'm not gonna say all, but most. So, but that's not important for everybody. I do love a good optics ready pistol, but it's something that I've come not to expect from a 1911 style gun. So if it's gonna be a striker fired gun, polymer type gun, like whether it's a Glock, a Canic, or the Echelon, I love to have a good optics ready option. So there's a good plate. If you don't want to use the optics, that's fine, but it doesn't hurt to have the ability to add a red dot or reflex or EED or something like that, and closed emitter. But yes, overall the performance of this guy has been absolutely fine. Not a single issue, no failures. So you have no failures to eject. It fed everything. If anything, the only drawback I've really found with this gun is going to be the magazine capacity of 7 rounds. I know that you guys are out there that are watching this that probably just got triggered by that comment that I feel like 7 rounds is low. Well, number one, It's a single stack 1911. I get it. It's a 45 ACP, so you can only fit so much with what you have to work with when you're doing when you're working with single stack. That said, I have started carrying this around town. Same reason I carry revolvers. Sometimes I'm willing to sacrifice the capacity just because I feel like carrying something different. Now I've found that I've actually shot this gun very well. It's a heavier gun, right? It's what, 20 something ounces, but it's got a great feel to it. That trigger is excellent. That carry contour model, I don't carry it inside the waistband even when I'm in public. Since it's been so cold out, I got a big jacket on, so it's outside the waistband on my belt. It's been working just great. It's pretty much concealed anyways. So holster options, any Commander style holster, any Commander 1911 holster will work. So this holster right here, this is the Black Point holster, and this one's actually for the 5-inch Prodigy, the government size, that has a Surefire X300 on it. But honestly, this thing works perfect with this gun, with this setup. It covers your trigger and no issues. Since it's meant to fit that Surefire instead of just the frame and slide, that slide comes up to just about here. So it's a perfect fit. So now I can use this for whether I want to carry my Prodigy or if I want to carry this guy right here or any other 1911 with a 1913 rail and a Surefire X300 on it. So overall, like I said, it does feel nice. It's a quality gun. It's a 1911, but it's a well-built 1911. Springfield knows how to do that pretty well. So all this said, so Springfield did send me this to do some content on. I do have the Prodigy, and the Prodigy that Springfield sent me has run flawlessly. I know there's been other issues with the Prodigy out there that people have had, and honestly, I haven't had those kind of issues with this gun. I haven't had those issues with the Prodigy. They're both running just fine. So all in all, solid gun, fantastic, and I enjoy it. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.